Hi, beautiful. Welcome to EBINOTTI Official. I am EBINOTTI, and today we are doing the full moon readings. If you're new to the collective, hello and welcome. We do all the moon cycles around here and any other important energy shifts within the cosmos that we feel like reading, but it's the moon cycles, the full moon and the new moon, and we are currently in the full moon Leo, okay? If you're watching this when it comes out, it crossed you within a day, I'd say, depending where you're located on the globe. And the ether element for the reading, or for the moon cycle, sorry, is already up on the channel. So if you're watching, if you see this one, you can go back and check out at least the ether element as well, okay? Earth, air, fire, water, and ether are the elements that we read for every single moon cycle. We are also adding something new to the channel today, the zodiac signs. So for all the moon cycles, we're going to read the zodiac signs as well. If you've been wanting that, or if you like to watch readings around your zodiac signs, they will be available on the channel very, very soon. So make sure you're subscribed and following, and you've got your notification bells turned on so that when we upload videos on the channel, you get notified of that and you never miss a reading. If you're wanting to get into updating yourself, keeping yourself on track, having some accountability. So let's talk about this moon cycle with full moon Leo. Leo being a fire element sign. It is the middle child of the fire element sign, Aries being the youngest, Sagittarius being the oldest, and Leo being right in the middle. Now, king of the jungle, the lion, is what Leo is most known for. It's a very strong type of energy. It's masculine energy, being fire. And with the lion, you get courage and shadow work. Shadow work especially being called for some of the collective. Now that we're reading the fire element, shadow work being very relevant, okay? Because you can't have any energy within the body, which is fire as an element is energy. It's the solar plexus chakra. It rules the gut. And you can use breath to cultivate fire, but you need alignment of other elements to activate fire as a center in the body or an element if you're going to be working with it that way. And that's why shadow work is so important and now being called for the collective to reflect on under this moon cycle. If you're really having a tough time emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually right now, it's shadow work that's being called, okay? So the great lesson in every trial and tribulation in life, it's a little bit of an eye roll right now to talk about, but it is something that needs to be done. We need to reflect. We need to take time for ourselves. We need to heal, okay? And if you're a go-getter and you're ambitious, or if you're just very based in the third dimension, you know, doing some of the spiritual or emotional work might be a little bit difficult, which is understandable, but it's still necessary. So you don't want to be turning up your nose or rolling your eyes at anybody right now that is emotionally driven or based in their reality. Because those are going to be the people right now that are really going to help you through it, okay? So we're going to drop any bullying that we've got going on right now. And if we are projecting that around us right now because we're so tough and we're so whatever, emotions and all that stuff is beneath me, right now we're going to make amends for things like that, okay? When we do come full circle with those same people helping us to heal. Allowing us safe spaces to cry or speak our truth or go through a tough time, okay? So the apologies, the please and thank you, all that basic stuff that we were taught when we were taught about respect and manners is coming up really strong. It's just like the energy got really serious really quick. So we want to love and respect people in the way that they, on the level that they give to us when they give to us, okay? So big message coming out for the collective. We're doing a little bit with pride in the throat chakra here. We're going to be, some of us, dealing with pride. And it's interesting because I knew coming into this reading today we were going to read the fire element. It's the element of the moon cycle that we're currently in. So once we get ether out of the way, we read the element of the moon, and it's fire today. And fire and the throat chakra, that's not, they do need to work together. Like you see the lovers on the wall here, divine feminine and masculine, the twins coming together. That's how it's feeling with the fire center of the solar plexus and the throat chakra, okay? And even the throat chakra is feeling like water, which is even more interesting because that is an air element chakra. So a lot of balancing, okay? We're using all the tools at our disposal. We're being emotional. We're being mature. We're being wise in the moments where it's necessary. And outside of that, we're allowed to be running free as the inner child. We're allowed to be deep, deep, deep in the pits of hell with the demons and our shadow, okay? So a lot of mix and mashing, whooping and swooping out here. There's movement. Anytime we got Leo or fire on the board, there's going to be action. There's going to be movement called. So that's really fun. Full moon being the culmination of a moon cycle that started 6 months ago with the new moon. New moon starts in the season of Leo in this case. New moon Leo was the opener. And 6 months later can be the culmination of something. So if anything's been calling to you from 6 months ago, or if you're going back to something you started 6 months ago and you didn't quite finish out, a lot of that reflection energy can be coming up for the collective as well. I feel like everyone's moving and shaking out here. It's a busy, busy day out in the collective. So it is. It's very early in the morning or early afternoon enough anyways to feel like the beginning of the day, the beginning of the week, the beginning of, and that's very exciting. So there's a lot of excitement, there's passion, there's joy, but there's also all the darker elements that come with passion, like frustration, anger, okay, lashing out, saying things we don't mean, having to make amends. So that therein comes that full circle, bringing something full circle, saying thank you, and really letting someone know how much they helped you or affected you or were just there for you. And then also apologies, okay? When we are the ones making mistakes, it's important to have and to allow apologies too. If you're being called to do forgiveness, it's even more so higher self, okay? So taking this wherever you need to take this. That's how it's feeling with the fire element, is you can do anything you need to do right now, whatever is coming in for you, or if you're putting things out. Some of us are receiving right now, some of us are giving, and it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of choice in that arena. So fate and destiny on the table for us all. I love that. Feeling Wheel of Fortune energy with the three sisters of fate. More so than Wheel of Fortune, it's feeling, if you know tarot, if you don't, it's okay. It's feeling like the three sisters of fate, meaning there's a whole spiritual team here that know your mission better than you do because they're in the ethereal realms and they're there supporting you on the path as we get a beautiful crow flying across our escape out here. Cheers to you. I am having, if you're having some sips, and I am so desperate, you can't see it in my face. I might take a nap, and if you know me, I am not a napper. I don't like to nap at all, but I'm feeling the need to nap today. So having a coffee for myself. This is a Nescafe, sweet and creamy. Don't recommend, guys. I don't recommend. Go to the authentic stuff. Don't do the fast food version of coffee if you don't have to. But if you do, cheers to you, because I sure do today. Okay, so there's some big, brave things being called for the collective right now. So even if you're a grown-ass man, tough energy or whatever, serious energy, and then you're being called to do something that should be simple and you're super embarrassed to ask for help because you're thinking like, oh my God, how am I going to let these people who rely on me for serious stuff or who see me in a serious way, who look up to me, how am I going to let them know I'm struggling in this arena? Just like that. That's how. Okay, just you'd be surprised at how strong it makes people to realize that you're not perfect, that you need help sometimes too, that they can be just like you because even you have weakness, flaw, need support sometimes, make mistakes, okay? So really fighting the fight together here as collectives, whether it's family groups, friendship groups, lovers. We already saw the reference to the lovers. I need to clear my wall, this wall, for another project that I'm doing, and I just can't. I cannot take down the lovers for us. It's got to stay. So I'm struggling with all this stuff just because I can't make that decision. I won't do it. It's called, it needs to be done. The other thing's going to have to figure it out. So there's a harshness to divine masculine energy in the sense that the greater good is what matters, and we're not going to cry and bitch and moan in the emotional realm about things that we can't control. And that's a beautiful lesson in any way you can apply that to your life, or it needs to be applied to your life right now, okay? Fair enough. The fire is just pumping right now. I'm starting to shake a little bit, and it's not the coffee. Hand to God. It's very exciting. Like I want to like get a little shiver out just to reset my energy for what I'm trying to do right now. But I'm feeling it for the collective. There's a lot of excitement, thrill, ready to take action, and impatience even, because we desire to take this action very strong. The color purple is calling so strong all of a sudden on the altar. And we've already set the altar for cards. So we've chosen our cards for this reading already, but all of a sudden, all the purples are calling, which I think is really interesting. That's speaking to the crown chakra, the third eye and the crown. Okay, we're going in the higher wisdom, spiritual wisdom, knowledge and ascension, the unified consciousness field where we pull from the ether into the physical realm. So fire as an element is very spiritual. It's very creative. It's very inspired and inspiring. It's very infectious or contagious as well. Like when somebody is really having like a laugh, like a belly laugh, or like a wheezing laugh, like they're laughing so hard, it'll get you in the belly. Okay, so making sure that the chakra system is in rotation and in alignment to the point where we can be influenced and affected by others in positive ways. Like when they're laughing, we laugh. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. And still strong enough that we cannot be affected by negative things, malicious energies, or anything like that. So in that realm, taking and not giving a fucking inch. Okay, I just heard, which is warrior energy. There's the lion, the king of the jungle, the most capable, the best of the best, I heard. Yes. Okay, we're going to get into this reading, starting with some oracle cards, and then we're going to pull the tarot, reading the element of fire under full moon Leo. I feel like I'm going to mess up saying that moon cycle a few times, but it is full moon, and it is Leo, okay, that we're working with. If you're curious about the decks and stuff that I use, you can find all that information down in the description box, including contact information if you want a personal reading. If you want to check out any of the other offers that we have here at EBINOTTI. All tarot related products and services are currently 50% off for the winter, so make sure you get in on that discount if you want it. It's a family and friends discount, so do make sure you share it with your family and friends. Anybody can get that discount. Code word muffin, okay? So send a message on any of the social media that you have EBINOTTI on. I'll send you a price list, let you know about the discount, and we'll get you booked in. Bottom of the deck to get us started, we are starting with the Return of Spirit Oracle. We have shuffled and cut the deck, and we've got surfacing on the bottom. Look at that beautiful bubbling, mixing paint colors for the first time. You're allowed to play with it and you can't believe it, and they said go to town, and you were like, okay. So there's something really bubbling here. Again, fire is an element, very inspiring, very creative. This can be coming out as a gift or a talent being unlocked for you, a project surfacing and starting for you, or a collaboration between energies also beginning. There's a big beginning energy to that. Okay. Oh, and we got our card for the reading, and I can see it, this beautiful frequency of love. We will look at that and talk about that more in a second, but the bottom of the deck now is our theme for the reading. This one's going to stay face up on the altar while we pull all the rest of our cards celestial. And if you see the color combo looking a lot like the color combo in Surfacing, the original theme that we saw to shuffle our cards, it's, celestial is all of your spirit and where it comes from. It's cosmic energy. It's divine and inspired creativity, power, even connections. Okay, for some of us, this celestial is going to be new connections that we're making in the physical realm. For some of us, in the spiritual realm. It's also connecting the dots in a lot of ways. So learning to pull the thread with a question, a curiosity, or childlike wonder, and find the synchronicities along the path. So it's learning to divulge the path in a lot of ways, whether this is acquiring gifts, unlocking talents, things like that, or moving and collaborating and learning to, a lot of us are learning for the first time to walk our path truly in purpose, the one that, and it's authentic. Again, We created for the year a word, and authentic is the word. We chose this to be the word for the year, authenticity, and that's exactly how this feels, is authentically aligning to ourselves and the path. And we're doing this either for the first time or in new ways. For a lot of the collective, we have been doing this for lifetimes. I even heard, exactly. So we are supporting then and loving all of the people called to the tribe and to the collective to align with us in this way, because whether you're a first timer or an old soul, you are welcome here. And this is the energy, really beautiful collaboration with the divine feminine. And this is going right over here with all those beautiful purples, pinks, and greens now rocking over there, which is friendship, inner child, the heart chakra combining. Instead of just being green, it goes pink. It creates new colors, complementary colors, primary, complementary, and then blah, those ones. It's starting to create the aura of pink and green, which is stunning, which is why we get this baby as our card for the reading from that deck, the love frequency. So heart chakra, huge upgrade here, huge unlocking here, excuse me. And there are gifts from this connection, from gifts meaning things that you're capable of doing that you didn't have to train, so to speak, meaning you didn't have to like do a 4-year college program to get the graduate to say that you're experienced in that arena. Gifts are things that you're experienced at. It's a natural talent. Okay, so there's unlocking going on here, discovery going on here, collaborations between people, places, and things for you. So this is happening as multi-dimensional, multifaceted, which is, if you really get to taking a look at it, you can see all of the multi-faceted layers to that frequency, including the flower of life, the heart, the sun, the moon, the earth. I'm seeing the atom here, all kinds of beautiful imagery. So that's sacred geometry that you're looking at there with this deck. Make sure you take a look at it, screenshot it, keep it, buy the deck yourself, you know. That's why I list them down in the description box. If you're called to get the cards, get the cards, okay? Beautiful creator of this deck, actually, Return of Spirit, Cheryl Lee Harnish. She's got 3 different decks. She's Canadian, so we love that. We love that. Okay, second deck we're going to use as oracle for this reading is the Goddess Oracle. I'm digging it. We're going to see what the goddesses have to say about it for the fire element. Full moon Leo. It's full moon vibes, and I keep wanting to say new moon, new moon, new moon. So we either want to get through this cycle as quickly as we can, or we're ready for new connections again with celestial coming out, and love. The love is the frequency, my friend. If you want to manifest anything, love is the frequency, because there are only 2 states of being out here, and from that you can vibrate any way that you want. But there's love and there's fear. Okay, that is the split. 1% is all you need to get over. Okay, and if you can't do that, neutral will do, my friends. Neutral will do. Okay. So let's see here. Full moon Leo. The timeline is feeling really weird right now, a little janky. It feels like interference, a little bit of spiritual warfare going on in a few different areas of your life, because there's the collective that you're a part of, and then there's your individual point of reference. Okay, so feeling a little bit of that attack energy, but we're not giving up, and we're not being thrown out of alignment here with the love frequency being our card. We're definitely strong in it, but I think that's why there's the attack. So gearing up, preparing a little bit, making sure that we can see clearly what's around us, and keeping sort of our head on our shoulders, keeping a clear vision, keeping an eye on things around us, that kind of an energy, watching our back, making sure if we aren't that somebody else is. Okay, so really keeping people we trust around us with this energy. Celestial too is an ancestral card. It's about the ancestors being around, so there's not a lot of room around you right yet. And under that, contact. Look at that. Contact is literally spiritual contact. Okay, so however that resonates for you, if you're not into, you know, connecting with spirits and stuff, that's fine. This can be many different forms of communication, because you'll get the messages from your ancestors no matter, or from God, from spirit, Mama Universe. You'll get those messages however is you want to, however is you're meant to. Okay, so if spiritual contact is uncomfortable for you, fair enough, but this is ancestral contact. Okay, so getting messages very clearly. through the bloodline and from the ancestors and the spiritual realm. Okay, so a lot of conversations going down, contracts being made. We're signing new contracts in a lot of ways with that energy. Okay, so staying in the love frequency will make everything clear, because you can't be distorted in love. Okay, fascinating. Ooh, Durja on the bottom with boundaries. You see that? That's aggressive. But the need for boundaries is so clear. You see the halo energy in that? It's the same here. This is the halo around the frequency of love, because that's how dangerous it is to vibrate that high in this timeline, in this realm especially. So look at, man, she's got extra arms and shit to be able to fucking do multiple things. So you're a multi-dimensional being right now in a big way, setting boundaries in all the realms that you interact in. Okay, bottom of the deck as a theme, boundaries are going to be important here. So saying no, get ready to be able to say no if that's difficult for you, because you're not going to have the time and energy to help every single person who comes asking. If you run a business or anything like that, you know, you got to prioritize, and it sucks to say no. And anytime you have a lot of responsibility or important things to get done like that, it's just, you know, no is an answer too, and it has to be, because that's true balance. Okay, self-respect, respecting others when they bring their no's to you, same thing. You can't be somebody who expects everybody to appreciate when things go sideways for you, and then the second somebody can't be there for you and the answer is no, you're a big mess, okay, about it. Or, you know, you flip on them or anything like that as we get our card. Okay, bottom of the deck, Sulis, illness and wellness. Illness and wellness. And you see how if you think the word illness and you look at that imagery, you get a lot of feelings and residuals. But if you think the word wellness and you look at that, you get to see a different image. So there's a choice to be made here. No matter what's going on around us, we have to choose wellness, okay? And even if illness is what is being called, then we choose healing, okay? We don't play victim in this energy. We reach for wellness. We hope, and we believe, we have faith in our ability, to realign to wellness. I'm going to take some sips here because my throat is getting so dry. Sitting here, it's just getting tighter, drier, tighter, drier. And I can tell you, when you have really powerful light or strength or even just wealth, you're rich, you know how stanky and danky and heavy the energy around you can get and how quickly. And it's because other people don't have this level of wealth, whether it's money or the frequency of love, natural gifts, talent that you have. Okay, that's going to bring a lot of spiritual stankiness out of people. And that's the thing about full moon Leo, is you're going to see a lot of shadow. He's not king of the jungle as an animal totem. He's not king of the jungle because it's not a difficult battle when it's time to battle, okay? Peace is something that is hard fought and earned. It's always bloody. When the heart is involved, that is the source in our physical body of the blood pump. It pumps blood. That is its job, okay? And if everything in the system works well, it does that really, really well. So king of the jungle, it's a bloody business, okay? He will eat the heart. So very spiritual, very deep, very heavy. It's feeling ancient. It's feeling like tradition, learning the way things were traditionally done in your bloodline, in your family, whatever. In your timeline, the information you can acquire about how things were traditionally done, because it is spiritual, learning a lot from the ancestors. We might even be receiving things like old cookbooks or writing underneath. Things that were written by old family members to us or for us in the spiritual realm, meaning like I just got an old cookbook from my great grandma. It's all in Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese yet, but I'm gonna have to figure that out to get that information and that contact. And then underneath, and we could go on, and I'm going to just for fun because they're so beautiful. Innocence, we've seen that recently in the readings. Power, it's a big deck, okay? You shouldn't be able to see this many repeating cards, but innocence, we've seen that quite a few times, talking to us about the inner child. And the power, of the solar plexus, the power of the inner child, the power of our words, our communication. Okay, and then finally, and this is the last one, I promise, underneath that manifest, which for the opener of this moon cycle, which is the ether element, this was the card we saw as well. So the power out here that is available to you is pretty real. Whether you're trying to heal, underneath it, beautiful, align. It's the chakra system if you needed imagery for it. Okay, align to wellness. This is the real frequency here. However you need to do that, no matter what kind of news you're getting or what you're being faced with right now or what your duty in the collective is, okay? That's the alignment, that's the egg, that's the frequency. If you see that beautiful halo of energy around that as well. And then under it, one of my personal favorites, Tara, with centering, because I am a water sign. I even have a water moon. Pisces is my zodiac sign for the sun, and my moon sign is Cancer, also water, which is our Tara right here. Tara speaking to us about the earth as well. Earth coming out with that energy, which I like. Don't worry if this is all over the place for you. We will get into the tarot and some simple, clean messages here pretty quick, but it's weird when you expect a logical or masculine element to go spiritual, and it's just like, whoa, the messages are very clean cut, but also extremely ethereal. Coming in hot, I just heard, and I love it. Our card for the reading, Bridget, with inspiration. Talking about the three sisters of fate. Yeah, do you see them there? The trifecta? Okay, great. That's the energy here. It wasn't the Wheel of Fortune, it was Bridget. It was this trifecta right here, which is the three-faced woman, the three aspects of the feminine, maiden, mother, crone. Any three things coming together in wholeness create the original triangle of power, because you need more than one to create on this level, and that's how this is done. Excuse me, this is your frequency, and this is what you get. Okay, so 3 equals, and that's beautiful, because we all, you know, hardly, with the lovers up on the wall here, can find 1 equal, and it's because you weren't equal in here yet. Once you get real, true wholeness and this activation, it's times 3. Everything in 3s, you see it? When you're talking the feminine, everything is in 3s, okay? And that's why in the tarot, the Empress is major arcana number 3. That's right, babies. That's right. That's also why the lovers over here, because it's a feminine energy, it's a feminine choice to make in love. It could have been the 8, right? If it was masculine times 2, but it's not. It's feminine times 2, which is 3 times 2. That's why major arcana number 6 is the lovers. You see? That's also why the devil claimed 6, because he knew she's going to be a fucking problem. Oh, I like it. I hope not to get that devil card out here today, because we have a tendency lately to say his name and then he comes out in the reading to speak on it himself, okay? Again, the equality. There's an equality here in the spiritual realm, physical realm, all of it. With mind, body, soul, my friends, we are calling equality to us. This is the frequency we want to hold. So this can be the thing that manifests threefold. Powerful, powerful messages, my friends. Cheers to you. Okay, like I said, we had all our cards picked out today. That isn't working. And our tarot deck today is going to be the Tarot of the Familiars, one of my personal favorite decks. It comes in a bunch of different sizes. I got the mini, just playing card size with no gilding or anything special. It is one of my favorite decks. Definitely gets the most use around here lately. So we're going to step into the Tarot of the Familiars in just a hot second here. I'm going to smoke. Trigger warning if you weren't prepared for that. We do stuff like that around here. We smoke, we swear, we talk about it. Okay, safe spaces for all. I'm not sure what's being called. That's why we're just taking a second to pause here. Full moon Leo is a really interesting energy. There's so much going on in my personal life. I can feel it for the collective spiritually. Today is February 13th, 2025. If that hits, cool. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Another one of those things that collectively as feminines, we all kind of beep. We all kind of check in with the collective spiritually on that day or for that day. These holidays they shove us into focus. in the timeline, the Gregorian masculine calendar timeline. They shove us into focus. So there's a bit of there's an intensity to that energy. It's feeling very uncomfortable here. But we're feeling powerful and strong in it. So we're going to see how that comes up. You know what it is. Look at it. This is what we missed. And we haven't been able to move on until we spoke on it. Look at the fire. The three of them coming together, heads on fire. Okay, a lot of really dark stuff coming out of this on the opposite side of love. So this is on the altar on this side, and on the other side we have love. So burning at the stake coming out, and all the demonic possession of humanity, Satan's little season, you know, he's being called. But if you see there, this is not that energy. This is the power of creation coming off of the three sisters of fate here. So working together. If you kill one of the three sisters of fate, they can't see. You know, so the power of the three of them being alive and in existence together. This is talking to you about your timeline, okay? That you have something right now that is not forever. And that's not like, oh, you're going to end a relationship. It means nothing is permanent in this universe. So appreciating and activating and really using what you have at your disposal right now, because there's something really beautiful aligned in your life right now. There's all kinds of music and creation and growth coming out of this. So this is the inspiration. When you get the feeling of inspired action, you take it. That's why fire is here. Okay, so through the heart chakra with the love frequency, we activate fire in the crown, which means inspired thought, inspired ideas. It's time to take action. Okay, that's what that means. And now we can move on. Fascinating. Just gonna have a quick look-see at the sky and just take 1 second before we shuffle the tarot. Okay, so take a nice deep breath if you want, or light an incense, a candle if you haven't already. If you can see the horizon from where you're sitting right now, just take a second, look away from your phone, look to the horizon. Fascinating. Okay, fire element. And full moon Leo. See what we get from the tarot. I'll finish that smoke in 1 second, but it's time. You know, and when it's time, it's time. It's kind of like thinking you had a little more time on your break than you did. And it's time to get back to work, okay? Nothing wrong with it. We're choosing to be here. So that's how we accept that. There's no slavery in this energy. So really focusing in our lives where we're feeling enslaved and there is illness. There's some real stuff that needs to be sanitized, cut, gutted even out of your life, okay? So declutter season. We're getting our chores done. We're cleaning up our spaces internally and externally. Love that for the collective. That's what we're doing. That's how we're doing it. The mental space feeling a little overburdened still, and that's okay, because here we're being called to the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra. So the mind can take a break. Using our breath, as I see 2 swords, the air element cutting there. Using our breath to activate fire. So if you don't have any breath work exercises in your life, now's a great time. Even if you're into fitness, health, athleticism, anything like that, really focusing on the breath in that arena is going to help you out here. There's an alignment that comes from it. Yoga's being called a little bit, which I love. It's very spiritual, physical movement. It's bringing spirit, mind, body, spirit together. It's what yoga's all about. So doing that in any way that you're being called to do that. We're all different out here. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, big fire activations from the heart chakra coming. And I love that for the collective. We are here for you, supporting you as divine feminines do, okay, in the spirit realm. Wow. Bottom of the deck to get us started, the Star. Major Arcana number 17, breaking down to the 8. And I love the 8. It's been a theme already getting into full moon Leo readings, 8 is a powerful number, and it is a number of power itself. Power from the spiritual realms. It's the number of alchemy and magic, as above, so below, as within, so without. Okay, so big collaboration in the spiritual realm. Again, the three sisters of fate coming up to show us about that feminine trifecta. You don't need to be collaborating in the physical realm. Love is on the board, so it's here. It's very much so here. If you're looking for inspiration, healthy sexuality, alignment and oneness, activation, whatever kind of energy and creation you're looking for, it is here for you. Doing that to the best of your ability, okay? A little bit of distortion in that realm, but like I said, when your love frequency, when your light shines that bright, you're always going to call the dark. The dark will be attracted to you, so preparing yourself for those kind of attacks or confrontations, conflicts, distractions, temptations, I'm hearing. Wow. And we got our first card coming out solo. First card for the tarot reading, the Seven of Cups. It's been a lot of distortion within the water element, okay? So that's pain and pleasure, love and fear. This isn't a novice energy, though. The 7 cups out in front of you means you've been on this journey for a while, spiritually and emotionally. So there's a lot of growth to be had here. And when the heart chakra does align and vibrates at such a beautiful, powerful frequency, it's very easy. Easy's not the word, you know, but it's very simple. It's very easy to see clearly which of these cups are for you and which aren't when you're moving from the heart space. But that is the lesson of the lovers, to become whole within yourself so that you cannot be tempted or distracted by even Satan himself, who knows your fears and knows the word of God and knows how to pervert and distort things specifically for you, as if it was you and him in this journey together. Okay, so it's feeling very familial. And we saw Celestial out here. So there's some cosmic wars that you're a part of through the bloodline. Again, the heart, right? We would bleed out. We would do anything for the people that we love. And it's feeling very battlefield out here. So being careful, being very, very careful within our realm. You know, we're all different out here. So making sure we're staying in our lane when it comes to what we're called to do and not being tempted. Or distorted, not letting pride, not letting our powerful spirit go dark because we believe that we're not that powerful, we're not that significant. Okay, that's one of the first lies that he will tell you if you listen. So the 7 of Cups is just talking about how difficult the path has been. As we get our next cards and we can see them. So first card that we can see, and there's a few here, there's got to be 3 at least, is the Judgment card coming out beside that 7 of Cups. We do a 5-card spread, so these are the first 2. This could be a past energy, recent past energy, exterior force, whatever. It's relevant either way. Judgment, you know, this is the call. This is the inspiration. It's not always an easy call to receive because death and rebirth are a part of judgment as a cycle. You can feel Anubis right now coming in as the guardian of the path. He walks with you on the path because it's his job. But he's got a lot of shit. He's got a lot of shit to do. He's a busy, busy, busy man, you know. So that's the feeling here with the fire element under full moon Leo is you got to let people and yourself do their duty, because duty is very, very important. And if you're being called to something, you have to follow that call, even if it's difficult. Central energy. The next one that we can see, the 8 of Fire, the 8 of Wands. Okay, this is going to be our central energy. So this is speaking on how quickly things are about to move. If they're not moving at all for you, feeling stanky, stagnant, if you've been feeling ill, if you've been feeling slow, if you've been feeling out of balance, out of alignment, this is a huge burst of energy. I just heard and saw, like, when you are on a motorbike. I grew up with bikers and stuff. We could do better than that, can't we? Like, when you're on a fucking any kind of a street bike or a Harley or something and you vroom vroom, you know, this is the injection of gas into the engine, and just the amount of energy and power, like a horsepower, or, you know, that comes from this. That's how quick this energy can come in, which is why that cat's staring you down, being like, are you fucking ready or are you not ready? And if you see in this energy, there's the card of the Three of Swords here with the crystal right on it. So again, speaking about this, the heart chakra, yes, you have been through it. And yes, this is where the devil can come in and spin his little tails. In the story of the Seven of Cups here is that two of these, like, God gave you 5 cups, and then 2 of these cups were put here by the devil, and he started mixing them all up, and you can't really tell which is which anymore. So that's why you're being called to align through the pain. That means heal the pain, face the pain, forgive, so that you can actually get into this frequency, because it's not a joke. You know, Judgment's a pretty heavy major arcana energy to be going through, and that's, you know, one of the first energies that we have to sit here and discuss. So it's pretty serious, and things are going to be moving very quickly, but you don't want to be moving down the wrong path, because this is one of those opportunities the devil has to get you off of path. Okay, so under Sulis, we already saw not Shakti, Shakti energy. I was thinking Tara. That's because she's right underneath. So that's the alignment, and that's the frequency to stay in. If you see the centering on either side of that illness / wellness, it's a lie, right? We don't want to get caught up in a lie right now, thinking we're small when we're not. So that's how quickly the energy is going to be coming in, the 8 of Fire. And then 4th card out, the last card that dropped, and we hadn't seen it yet, Major Arcana number 2, okay? The High Priestess. The High Priestess. So not worried for you at all. Judgment and the High Priestess is a fucking phenomenal energy to have in your upper cards. Like, this is the 5-card reading. We're going to do 5 clarifiers, but the 5 cards are the reading, you know? And the High Priestess is like, you cannot sway the feminine, okay? You cannot, like, you know, on a spiritual level, it's like, what is the feminine strength? If masculine gets physical strength, what does the feminine get? That, okay? Magic and intuition and the ability to know and see and hold frequency. It's pure magic. This is pure fucking magic, you know, coming off of that 8 of Fire. So the central energy of the 8 of Fire is this inspiration, and this is the activation for you. So for some of you, this is a reactivation because you've leveled up. Again, some of the collective feeling very, very new to the game, so welcome to this level of power and magic and all that. We support that in you, but as somebody who's been on the path for a while, we'll give you the advice, don't make the same mistakes we made, okay? Don't get small in it, and don't start thinking in a fearful way in it, because that is the lie. High Priestess and the love frequency out here with Judgment, it's like you are a powerhouse in this energy, so don't be swayed into insecurity and pain. Again, that 3 of Swords coming up in Judgment, being like, don't let somebody's little cuts get you off of this frequency, because it's so powerful. And that's like the devil's favorite thing to do, is get you to betray yourself, okay? Others don't even have to see it. As long as he and you know that you betrayed yourself, he's happy and he moves along, okay? Okay. Let's keep it going. I'm seeing a little bit. So we have 4 cards out. 3rd card is our central energy, and we have Judgment and High Priestess on either side of our central energy. I'm seeing the mirroring of the numbers. You see how the High Priestess is 1-1, and Judgment, being the card of 20, is 10-10. Like the Roman numeral X is the number 10, so 1-1. Do you see it? It's like an 11-11, which we don't usually read like that off of this energy, but it is, because it's on either side of our central energy. It's like a big mirroring. So we definitely want to receive this call clearly. If you remember, under Celestial, we had contact. That's the call, okay? That's the call that we want to make sure. And it comes through the High Priestess, which is the divine feminine cosmos. So the Empress being the divine feminine mother of the 3rd dimension. The High Priestess being the divine feminine mother of the ethereal, the 5th dimension, okay? So I'm hearing 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimensions being relevant. If you're not sure what the 4th dimension is, let me tell you, it's time and space. And you're using the 4th dimension right now doing this, okay? Okay? Your screen is made of obsidian, the crystal. And you have clear quartz crystal in your phone. So we're in the fourth dimension, babes. I just heard choices, exactly. With the three sisters of fate, you move through the realms. You can pull things out of the ether, you can manifest into the third dimension, but there's cost right now. Big cost. And that's why we get this judgment energy, the angels, guides, the celestials, okay? And we even heard of Anubis himself coming up for this reading, so it's the same. That's the call. So there's no time to manifest from the human existence or experience. We're doing this from a cosmic frequency, which is feeling huge, okay? It's feeling huge. The reason you don't want to focus on like writing down little human manifestations right now is because those ones have been written down. As long as they've been written down before or spoken out to yourself before, like out loud or in your mind, clearly stating in prayer, in devotion, in manifestation, intention, goal setting, all the same, okay? As long as you've clearly stated it, you don't want to state it here and now because it's too small. It's human. Okay, human desire, human understanding. Again, the fire element under full moon Leo is a culmination of things that began, I heard 6 million years ago. Okay, I was going to say 6 months ago with Leo season, but yeah, it can be big with celestial out here. It's feeling very spiritual, so we're going to let it be spiritual for us. We're going to have faith, and just pause for a second on anything that we've been using our spear energy to cultivate. And even with the fire element that we're reading, we're going to use the chalice, the cup energy, okay, to fill, to receive, to attract, to manifest. Central energy, 8 of fire, if you forgot. So we're going to use a chalice energy, which is this, a frequency of receiving, instead of trying to act, spear, focus, push, work, okay, in some way. We're going to be receiving instead, which we like, with the feminine energy. Even judgment feeling feminine as an energy now, because we've unlocked something even just sitting here together. So maybe you felt that. Feel free to share comments and stuff if you want to talk about how the reading resonated for you, or anything that was a synchronicity, things that you noticed. Feel free to share it with the collective. People are on all different paths and levels of their journey, and you know, trust me, when authenticity is the word of the year, then you can feel safe to share, okay? Even on YouTube, the ultimate death by comment section. That is the platform that we are on now, YouTube, okay? Are you, no, still no. A lot of messages wanting to come out and still nothing to say, okay? So even without the cards, we're nailing the messages. That is the message. As we get one, our 5th card out, and they're coming out slow, kind of almost one by one here, but not necessarily, I guess, because we got the first. Anyways, 5th card out, the 5 of air, 5 of swords. Let's see here. Excuse me. We saw Judgment with a representation of the 3 of swords, which is a heavy energy, but pretty common amongst men. Okay, we cut each other up, and we do it to people we love, and it gets done to us by all of the above. Okay, so where we are involved, we want to evolve out of the 5 of swords energy. Don't go from the 3 to the 4 to the 5 of swords. This is not one of those journeys that needs to be taken every step, okay? You could jump steps here, and that's how this is feeling. Nobody's more capable and prepared to do that than the High Priestess, because she can see this energy on you. When you turn on her, she felt it, she smelt it, you know, like a snake uses its tongue to smell and taste the air. It's the High Priestess, you know, she's got X-ray vision, man, she can see it. So being careful not to cast judgment, not to ourselves and not to others, to not allow others to do this to us. And if they do, simply remove yourself like a cosmic being would, okay? Slip into another dimension. Like I said, with 8 wands, 8 things of fire, 8 pieces of action, all of the thing, even the 3 sisters of fate, all that fire energy coming towards us is pretty serious stuff. Again, the idea of not wanting to get distracted by something minor arcana, especially a 5. A 5 is all the major arcana rules the minor arcana, and sometimes that's really relevant. So the Hierophant, being the 5 of major arcana, is God, the influence of God, the fate and destined path that you're on that you have no control over. So if somebody turned because they got taken, influenced, or tempted, that, you know, it's not even your place to judge, okay, but to see clearly and to move accordingly. That is your place, okay? That is very much so your work. So judging is, you know, what are you going to do? Become judge, jury, executioner? I'm sure God himself said that. Don't. That's my job. So witnessing is hard, but not needing to act or take action, just getting out of the way. It's like you saw the freight train coming and you simply took one step to the right and it passed you by. You can sit there all fucked up about it, talk to everyone you know about what happened to you today, or you can get on with the day because you were on the way to something, or you were doing something important that you don't want to be distracted off of if you can think about it clearly. Pretty serious stuff. Did we get? We got enough. Okay. Some of our clarifiers also coming out in a big chunk. Under the 7 of Cups, our first card out, we get our first clarifier, the Queen of Pentacles. Under Judgment, our second card out. I don't even have to turn it and look at it like this because I already know this is Justice. Coming up is the number 8. If you don't know, in tarot, the number 8 of major arcana and the number 11, Justice and Strength, are often flipped. So depending who created the deck, Justice could be number 11, or in this case, number 8. And we talked about 8 being big fucking power energy. It is also our central energy, the 8 of fire. We're reading the fire element. The alignment is on point. This is going to be one of the biggest moments I just heard of the year. Whoa. Justice and Judgment, I mean, we're going to have to talk about that in a second. I want to see what else we got. Central energy. Clarifying our central energy, the Star. Okay, baby. Major arcana number 17, breaking down to an 8. That's fucking right, it is. And our final clarifier, wow, the Page of Swords, the synchronicities. Now I recommend you go back and watch the ether element reading for this moon cycle, full moon Leo, okay? Because it's relevant and you'll see why if those messages are for you. The unlocking of the key. Pages are messengers. They're delivery people, okay? They're always bringing or passing along or sharing the information with giving to them for you, okay? So they're under the High Priestess, no less. Let's go back to the beginning and start here. Under the 7 of Cups, we get the Queen of Pentacles looking super like the Lovers, literally in embrace, in rest. So when you try to confuse these two, do they look like they're going to be easily confused or tempted or swayed? No. The Queen of Earth is the divine feminine master, okay, of the earth element. So no, not easily swayed. Okay, ask any Taurus you know or earth sign you know, they can be stubborn, okay? But they're also restful, respectful, honorable. Their authority usually in whatever place they choose to rule their kingdoms, okay? So when it comes to the emotional realm, the water element and the earth element, both feminine. Again, trust your heart to guide you. Don't listen to the mind when it starts to make things toxic, because that's influence. Okay, a little bit of weakness, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how heavy your frequency is. There's nothing weak about this, about you, even if illness is the reality, okay? The powerhouse frequency of your heart, your feminine energy, your ancestors, all behind you here to say the physical realm is not deciding what's real in the ethereal or spiritual realm right now. Okay, so that's this alignment of the feminine. High Priestess on the board talks to us about the superpower that divine feminine is, and this is the representation of it in the physical, okay? So very well grounded here, using water, using earth, using the chakra systems, using our spiritual rituals, practices, speaking to each other in love and nurturing, creating safe spaces for ourselves and the innocents around us. And for all, okay, divine masculine and feminine both need safe spaces to lay down and rest right now, because when they are awake, they are battling for kingdoms, okay? War here. which is why we get justice with judgment. It's pretty serious stuff, okay? This is the court of law, and that might be relevant for you. It might be not. This is very much so a spiritual message for the fire element, for the full moon Leo, okay? So justice is you winning court cases. It's in the clarity, meaning the under part of our reading. So I'm not too worried about things like legalities or, you know, you got served kind of energy. No, but this is a spiritual serve, being served, important paperwork, things that need to be done, dates, to show up to court and fight your fight, to tell your story. There's deadline involvement here on when you need to take action. So a lot of that relevant as we get into, I think we're a day away from the opening of tax season. If you're out here in the Western world, I'm Canadian, but that's relevant for Americans as well. So a lot of alignment. So because, yeah, she's right here. Let me get this properly. I'm not putting the coffee down, okay? Judgment is the card. Justice is the clarifier, and the clarifier right before. So Justice and Queen of Pentacles are touching. So this is earthly realm stuff. This is getting the job done. However you're being called to get the job done. Some of us it's paperwork. Some of us it's phone calls and apologies. Others it's bills. So it could be family stuff. It could be business stuff. It could be your personal stuff as an adult or a young adult or even a child. It's just things you want and need to get done because it's important to you in the earthly realm. The attacks are in the earthly realm. Therefore, our focus is in the earthly realm for protection, for alignment, for the frequency of love, okay? Because that's the best prep you could do for war is align your heart chakra, and then you'll know when to swing and when to not. When to duck, I just heard. Sure. Central energy under our 8 of Wands, we get the Star, Major Arcana number 17, another big, heavy-hitting Major Arcana. Like, I can't believe how big the Major Arcana ones that we've gotten are. 17 breaking down to the 8, baby, 8-8. Alchemy, magic, the most power you've ever had in your entire life, I just heard. Wow. Meaning you do not want to fuck this up. This is the only thing you need to remember. Clear vision. You see how clear those skies are? You see how one of them is looking right back at you? And how many of them are there? How many of them are sitting there stargazing? 3. Okay. Feeling very feminine, especially the one that's looking right at us. Okay, so fire activation in a big way. The inspired action will be called very clearly for you. Okay, you don't have to work too hard to hear or see those messages because you know how to do this stuff. So trusting and having faith in yourself that you can align and you can do this. This is dreams coming true, baby. This is action, information, resources, tests I just heard. From the good kind of test, the way you would test yourself, so that you feel proud moving forward or strong moving forward. It's like, I always get this professional sports teams. They do the first game of the season as a game they can win because it sets the tone to maintain that frequency of high activation and alignment right from the get. Okay, so lots of things coming in to make you successful, to make sure you're ready for this. This isn't against you, even though when you start activating, of course, the devil's going to come in and try and confuse you, okay? But your alignment here is so powerful and it's so authentic. Like, this isn't going to be difficult for you to decipher unless you still have shadow work to do, okay? If you're still battling with confusion in your heart space and you don't know what's for you and what isn't, it's because you're still pretending to be weak inside, okay? So you're going to learn how to be really, really strong here. And it's not going to be some big battle or something you wouldn't do for yourself, okay? This isn't against you. This is for you. Even the tests and the attacks and the dark side, it's still for you, okay? Because you do it this way because you choose to. And I don't mean to make you feel bad about that, like everything hard you've ever been through is because of what you chose. It's not like that. It's more like this shit out here is hard, and if all of a sudden it just, you know, drops into your lap, is it even going to feel valuable to you? This is for you, okay? This is for you so that it feels right for you. As we get the message 4th row out under our High Priestess, the Page of Swords, okay? This messenger is the type of messenger or not sidekick, but can you imagine having access to the mother of the cosmos? You know, you just walk into her house, her kingdom, then her palace, then her room, to be like, here, and put something in her hand. Like, that's access, you know, that's privilege. That's like, no matter if you are embodying a big energy like the High Priestess herself, or a small energy like the Page of Swords, this is huge amounts of privilege, power, access. Again, the celestial realm talking to us about the contact. You remember that contact card? Contact, messages, communication, understanding, literally from the cosmos for you. So some of us really embodying the page energy here because we're new to the game and we just don't know. It's not that you're an old soul. There are powerful souls that are new, okay? And that might be feeling a little weird and janky, or it might be feeling perfect. The message, as soon as I spoke it, you heard it, and it was a fucking wrap, okay? It was game right there, because you're like, yep, that's it. So whether you're new or not, you're a juggernaut. God, that's such a good word lately. A juggernaut in the spiritual realm, okay? And that's where you're going to be seeing all of these stars align, baby. 8 wands coming in to tell you all about it, and one of them's looking very clearly like a messenger bringing you a key that unlocks a box, okay? We still need one more clarifier, so I'm going to shuffle and get that for us. Beautiful fucking energy on the board here. I can't believe it. It is. I mean, I'm not surprised here, babes. I'm not surprised, because here we are reading for you. So whoever's tuning in, that message is for you. But here we are, and it's looking beautiful. It's looking ethereal and so aligned, so activated. Bang, as we get our cards. So beautiful. Okay, if you forgot, because I can't see what our clarifier is, this was our 5th card out, the 5 of Swords. This is our bottom of the deck, okay? The King of Swords. And our final card, another major arcana, number 14, breaking down to a 5. We'll talk about that in a second. I want to talk about the King of Swords on the bottom, because with all this energy, judgment, justice, the High Priestess, the Star, thank God that for some of us that are very uncomfortable with the idea of having, we don't want to learn that we're new. We're new to anything, okay? Because we feel old as fuck. So tired, old soul, like that kind of energy. So don't worry. King of Swords being on the bottom, we have a king and a queen out here. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, King of Swords, beautiful balancing energy, because she's really a bit harsh as well. The Queen of Earth, as opposed to the other feminine queen, Queen of Water. It's a little more sensitive when he speaks to her, but this one, they speak to each other beautifully. Communication with that contact card with him. He is the king of communication. It's his element. It's all the good things here. So clear messages, brilliant mind, very capable of understanding all the swords being fired at us, even if they're coming in the form of fire. 8 wands can very easily turn into 8 swords if we're not careful. So he's very capable of deciphering and blocking and stepping to the right, and while the freight train goes by if he needs to. This is not his first rodeo, okay? He earned his kingdom. He didn't fucking usurp it out of rage, okay? So that's really beautiful. He earned his kingdom, and he can speak to his people. He can communicate clearly with them. And when he's in alignment with his feminine, which again, we have a feminine on the table, this is the frequency that comes off of both of them. Whether you like the way he speaks, you speak the same language as him, it doesn't matter, because this is the king of communication and truth and miracles. Okay, there's magic and everything involved in that. So that's really beautiful. And that's why we're going to step back to these. And this needs to come up with it too, which is interesting. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Pardon me. It's the 8s. Okay, so central energy. We saw 8 of fire, and the star being number 17, also breaking down to an 8. We have 8. We have the exact same thing with minor arcana on top. Sorry, it actually goes like that. 8 of wands was on top, and then to clarify underneath, we got the star here. Final 5th card out, we have the 5 of swords clarified underneath by major arcana 14, breaking down to a 5. So pretty heavy with the synchronicities here. This is twin energy, if you see the lovers up there on the wall again. But mirroring is more important than your love life. when you start vibrating on this frequency, your angels and demons are a mirror. Okay, because that's dark and light, yin and yang. Yin and yang actually doesn't even talk about dark and light, meaning like good and evil. It talks about masculine and feminine, but then it talks about good and evil. So which was it originally? Probably not masculine, feminine. It was probably this conversation, which you need to appreciate the frequency of power, and that there are different fuel sources for power. And within the spiritual realm, all spiritual beings eat and consume and create power, okay? And that's why here in our world, you see different beings inside physical people. And this is how this is feeling. The underworld is very quickly moving here. Temperance is about like a alchemy again. It's about alchemy, you know, but it's a healing kind of energy. So the cosmic mother here for us to talk about that is the High Priestess. It's understanding, even though people are selfish and we could see it a mile away, exactly how they're moving. There are children, there are our brothers, there are lovers, there are fathers and mothers. So there's a love here that is unconditional, even because the janky energy here is minor arcana. Everybody makes mistakes like this sometimes. Everybody is selfish sometimes. That's just how it goes. So again, forgiveness, the healing frequency of love. The High Priestess doesn't get bitter or broken or, you know, in that go hold a grudge in the earthly realm. She vibrates at the highest frequency capable. She's very capable of swinging a sword. Okay, when we saw him, the King of Swords, very capable of swinging a sword if it's needed out here, okay? But because it's a 5, it's a shifting energy, it's a change. That means somebody might do it to you, a thing. We saw the 3 of Swords betray you, be disloyal, betray themselves, whatever. And you can handle it very easily because you know where it's coming from. There's compassion and love here. There's a mothering energy here, which is very healthy and healing because the mother is capable, you know, of being the one to call judgment, swing the sword on her baby if she needs to, the bad son, justice kind of energy, you know. But that's not what's called here. What's called is to recognize and forgive and let spirit take the wheel, if you will. Jesus take the wheel, okay? But it's a sibling. Jesus has a sibling energy to us right now, and so does the devil himself. So it's feeling very angels and demons out here. It's feeling very alchemical, as above, so below. As we saw, I've just made a huge mess of the cards here, so give me one quick sec to see if it's worth finding again, and it is. Feeling very as above, so below, okay, with the 8 energy and the frequency of love. So this is magic like you've probably, and I'll say you've never experienced before, because there's some within the collective that they're new to this. And then for the few of you who are like, this is my life because the High Priestess is you, then you already know that. So that we will support as High Priestesses the message for everybody else, because a lot of people, and I would never wish this journey upon somebody who didn't actively seek it out, okay? So we got pages and little babies and earthly realm queens out here. This is our sisters and stuff. This is our little nieces and stuff out here. We're not trying to wish for them to go through our level of spirituality, but as, you know, maybe High Priestesses in alignment together, you can feel that frequency that it's like, well, thank God we have each other, because this one's going to be rigid, as I just heard rigid, which is Bridget, right? This is perfect. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the spiritual warfare. The people who seek out spiritual warfare, because we believe we're capable of taking down the dark side, okay? So we're really lining up here to the ones who volunteered for this shit. Perfect. And we're gonna leave that one right there. But I just saw it on the bottom of the deck, under our bottom of the deck, which was the King of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, okay? So again, because we started with, you know, some of the confusing 7 of Cups energy, again, aligning to the earthly realm, using the root chakra and any grounding rituals, techniques, you know, modalities that you have to really align to the frequency of 10, which we started talking about the Wheel of Fortune and moved more into the 3 Sisters of Fate energy. But 10 is both Wheel of Fortune, the cycle, okay, which we see a cyclical rounded energy here. So We can spin the wheel, we can move the wheel, we can shift from a 9 energy to a 10, which is 10 to 1. Immediately we get movement. Okay, so stagnancy is not on the board here, but there's a lot of fuckery. And that's because people are weak. You know, our sons, our brothers, our fathers, our daughters, our sisters, our mothers. There's weakness in all humanity, and that's what we're going to support for each other, because not everybody out here is trying to be a spiritual badass. So we're going to leave them to it. And we're going to leave that one right there. Thank you so much for being here today and doing the work that you do on you. You know, we would be nothing without it out here. So thank you for that. Anything you need from me, again, you can find down in the description box. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps to circulate the videos in the early stages of YouTube. If you didn't know, now you did. You want to contribute to the channel in any way, give the video a thumbs up. That's all you really need to do, other than just watching, because when you watch, that's the key, right? So thank you so much for that, for contributing to the channel in the way that you do. I love you for it and the work that you do. So thank you. I will see you on your next reading.